Hello, YouTube. This is Insane Monster, and we are here for part 5 of What If Asta Was the Son of Dante and all that. I do hope that you have been having a good time getting everything ready for Christmas and New Year's or whatever you celebrate around this time and such. So, yeah, I do hope that you are staying safe, taking care of your stuff, personal business, and everything. And I hope that you will enjoy this new part. That being said, hit it. Now then, as we go to the Black Bull's hideout, where Yami calls over Noel, Salem, and Asta, telling them that the Witcher Kings called them to the capital in order for them to give them the report for the dungeon incident. As they agree, Yami also shoots down some people who asks to go to the capital. Luck for one, because he'll just try to fight someone. Charmy, because he'll just try to eat all the food in the capital, which he completely believes as he's capable of it. As Finral opens a gate and sends them through to the capital. Once they get there, they meet up with Yuno, Klaus, and Mimosa as they greet each other. As Klaus double checks Asta's torso, still can't believing that he survived something impaling through his chest like that. Sighing, he remarks, "Okay, you will have to explain to me how that works one of these days." Asta nervously laughs, wondering what he would even say. As Yuno and Asta have a silent moment and smirk at each other. As they hurry up and get going, they continue to talk about who they might be meeting up to go and report the incident. As they end up meeting the Wizard King himself, with everyone saluting, Salem doing it hesitantly, being very nervous, since she's never really heard much about the Wizard King, and what he has heard from the Black Bulls and such describing him made them sound pretty intense and strong, especially hearing that he has magic that manipulates time. That kind of power is something that's even extremely rare for things like devils. As he invites them in so that they could talk. Once they get to the tower, they remark about everything that happened with the diamond mages and everything, and give their full report. As Julie says, "Interesting. So, can I see what magic that you gained from the dungeon?" With sparkling eyes, with Asta, Noel, Salem, Yuno, Mimosa, and Klaus all thinking the rumors about him being a magic nerd is really spot on. As Yuno shows off the new script in his grimoire, but he doesn't know how to use it. As he examines it, he smirks, saying, "I'm sure this will be quite helpful in the future." As Asta pulls out his second anti-magic sword. As Julius tries to hold it, he almost breaks his back trying to hold it up. And this is the lighter of the two Demon Slayer / Demon Dweller swords of the set, as he can feel his mana draining. Asta takes the sword back and puts it in, as Julius smirks, stating, I also heard you attained some other new weapon while you were in the middle of a fight, correct? As Asta shows him the devil arm Lucifer, and shows off by pulling out one of the spikes, tossing it into the middle of a yard, and snapping to blow it up. With Klaus saying, "You can't do that to the yard inside the noble realm." Julie is waving off, saying, it's fine, it's fine. It can easily be fixed." As he looks at Asta seriously, and decides to ask the question he's been meaning to ask since seeing his weaponry. "Asta, do you have a relationship with a man called Dante?" Surprised by this, Salem hides her expression very well, thinking, "Oh, crap. How does he know his father? I am very much scared right now." As Asta tries to think, with Libe stating, "Stop freaking out. If I remember correctly, didn't Dad said that there was one person who knew him that was high up in the Clover Kingdom, right?" As Asta thought communicated with Libe stating, "Yeah, but I didn't know that was the fucking Wizard King. Why wouldn't he tell us? Why would he tell us? It's not like something you can just say in casual conversation." As Julius clarified, "I would like to know that these weapons in particular, they seem to be quite solid and more or less infused with the power of your grimoire, rather than something that originally came from it. Can you clarify where they came from?" As Asta thinks, Libe states, "Wait, Dad also said, he told this guy a little bit about his heritage and such. Not the devil part, but he told him about how the devil arms are made. And he told him that you and him are very hard to kill, but he didn't actually mention you. Just say something. You're looking suspicious." As Asta coughs up, stating, "Well, it's kind of a family inherited thing." As he sighs, remarking, "Okay, apparently my dad's side, they have a history of killing devils." As Mimosa, Klaus, and Noel are shocked by this and wondering where this is going, Asta continued, "Our bodies are abnormal. We don't have magic. I don't have magic like my dad, but our bodies, well, Klaus, you were checking earlier." As he states, wait, what?" "Yeah, that was to fight those things. It's something inherited. But, okay, basically, the thing is, whenever a member of my dad's side of the family ends up killing a devil, they would be able to take the devil's soul and forge it into a weapon." As he rubs the back of his neck, jaw dropping everyone except Salem, Yuno, and Asta. As Julius just smirks, stating, "So you really are his son." As Asta says, "Of course." As Klaus says, and now Yuno surprised, say, wait, what?" Julius laughs, stating, "Yes, I actually knew Asta's father, apparently. To be frank, he was a bit of an odd one, but ridiculously strong. And also unbelievably hard to keep down. I saw that man be turned into a pincushion and walk away just fine. That is not something you forget. And it was also good he helped me out, keeping an eye on some individuals. It's good not having magic to be sensed while at the same time being powerful and very, very much hard to kill. So, on time to times, I'd ask Dante to do some investigating for me, a little here, a little there, but nothing really public. Nobles and royalties wouldn't really accept this kind of thing of someone with no magic that was actually more powerful than them. It would cause quite the trouble. As Klaus and most of Noel kind of get it, as Yuno's surprised about this kind of connection that Asta's dad had. Doesn't know much besides what Asta told him. As Klaus back, oh, okay, so that's how you survived something that obviously could have killed you. Asta laughs, stating, yeah, I've heard some stories from my dad when from his past that were a lot worse. Klaus, looking pale, stating, I don't want to know. As William continued, as Julius continued, sorry, thinking of something else. He states, yes, but he went off and disappeared. You know what happened? Asta shrugged his shoulders, stating, I honestly don't know. I doubt he's dead, but... As Julius sighed, stating, that doesn't mean he can have been captured and restrained with magic. But if he was in the Clover Kingdom, then that I would have found him by now. So I guess the double arms went to you. With Mimosa raising a hand, asking, so wait, those weapons, they were made by defeated devils and having members of your ancestors or something like that, more or less having the ability to take their souls and forge it into a weapon? Looking at the current devil arm on Asta. As Asta remarks, yeah, that's how they normally are made. It's a weird thing, but it comes in handy. And best part is, once they're turned into weapons, there's no mind, ego, will, or anything to it. It's just a weapon then. As Klaus fixes his glasses, stating, I see. So by turning the devil's soul into a weapon, it results in destroying the ego of said devil. But what exactly does that mean? Does that mean the more powerful the devil, the more powerful the weaponry? Asta shrugs his shoulders, stating, I guess. This stuff comes. It's not easy to understand this kind of stuff. I never actually done it myself. With Klaus stating, but of course, the devils haven't been a problem for humans for so long. In fact, I don't think there's any proper written knowledge on them. At least anything detailed. And Julius remarks, and in a way that is relieving. It's also relieving that we have something to deal with it in case it ever becomes a problem. Julius thinking about some of the premonitions he's had of the future. As he coughs, stating, so do you have all of them? Asta thinks, stating, well, no. I wasn't as compatible with them as the others, since they were made using souls of those beings. Sometimes compatibility plays a factor. Actually, Yuno ended up with 3 of them, I think. As Mimosa and Klaus look at Yuno, stating, wait, that's what those were? Yuno stating, yeah, why? With them being shocked, and Asta points out, oh, and Salem was compatible with 4 of them, but she comes from a similar type of family as mine, so she has her own, but only one of them. The other 4 came from what was left to me from my dad, I would think our family was a bit more proactive in that respect. As he chuckles, with Noel, Mimosa, Klaus just having their jaws dropped. With Julius clapping, stating, "Alright then. Well, now that everything's covered, do you mind if we all go to the banquet hall, to the hall, in order to be my special guests for the promotion ceremony, and you can stay for the banquet?" As they agreed, the promotion ceremony went as scheduled, and the banquet was held. As everybody was enjoying themselves and such, Asta and Salem registered a amount that something that didn't feel right. They were at least attuned enough to know something was off in the air, as they can feel the stares on them. And when they took a quick peek, they saw Solid walking from behind Noelle to pour a glass of water on her. Salem grabs his wrist and smacks the water out of his hand, stating, "What do you think you're doing?" He pulls his hand back, stating, "Filthy commoner! How dare you!" As Asta steps in, stating, "She dares because you were about to do something completely, just completely out of line." As he states, "Oh, really? And why are you protecting someone worthless like her?" Pointing at Noelle. As Asta and Salem grit their teeth a bit, as Mimosa tries to calm everybody down, with Noelle trying to run away, Asta grabbing her wrist, stating, "You shouldn't have to run from people like this." As Solid just smirks, stating, "Oh yeah, and what you gonna do about it?" As he gets up on the table, yelling, "I'm gonna be the best magic knight and become the Wizard King." As he's engulfed with sand from the member of the Golden Dawn, stating, "A rat should know their place." As very quickly a loud noise starts coming from the cube of sand as it bursts, revealing Asta with a black electric guitar that bats seem to be coming out of. With Asta looking at him, saying, "All you got?" As we see Solid and Noelle's sister fire off their magic with Spider Mist Thread and Sea Serpent's Coil, only to have black bats shot at their magic, destroying it outright. With a sand golem grabbing him from behind, Asta breaks free as Solid shoots out a water holy bullet, with Asta taking the Demon Slayer sword, bashing the magic right back at Solid. As Nozel steps in, stating, "I believe this commoner should know where they stand." As he's giving off a lot of magic, Asta's not flinching at all, with Legolion yelling, "Enough! Honestly." Acting like this in such a way, as Legolion and Nozel stare each other down, with Leopold going over to Asta, looking at him as he laughs, stating, "You're quite interesting, aren't you? I've decided you're gonna be my rival." Confusing Asta for a little bit, stating, "Where did this come from?" As we go on, just looks at his younger brother, stating, "Out of nowhere." With this, a man comes in, stating as he yells, "I'm sorry to interrupt, but the capital is under attack." As they hear this, they take a look, seeing the place is on fire. Asta, opening up his grimoire, pulls out the the more or less anti-magic motorcycle Cavalier and hops on. As Salem states, "Wait for me." As they get going, with Flegolion stating, "Where are you going?" "Where the most chaos is. Probably where the guy responsible is for this is." As Flegolion just goes, uh, uh, with Leopold stating, "That sounds reasonable enough for me," as he follows. Getting annoyed, he asks the other Magic Knights for the time being to follow his lead, and they divide up like as in canon. First off, we'll start with Yuno's bout, since that happens separate from most of the other stuff. As Yuno, like in canon, gets hit more and more, trying to swipe at it with his devil arm that is currently renamed Emerald Empress, separate from its previous name Red Queen because of the color change. Though he still ends up getting hit, where his senses are being knocked out one by one as he tries to calm down and focuses, trying to sense the mana around him, trying to figure out how to do this. As he does, he gets it. As the wind spirit sows up inside of Yuno's grimoire, where words are already plastered in an incomprehensible language, with chains seeming to be on the that seems to be drawn onto the paper pages and such. The chains vanish as Yuno grabs a large white scythe. This, as he says, Asira. I mean, Osir. Yes, Osiris. Yes, sorry. Trying to pronounce the name, I'm not used to the foreign name speaking and such. As he pulls out the devil arm Osiris. And with a single slash, he strikes the mage through the wall, taking her out in one hit. Not needing Charming to step in, as Yuno passes out, with Charmy using her Copton creation to grab him. As, yeah, that kind of whole thing happens, like in canon. As Asta is riding through the place, Salem takes out her fencing rapier sword, Sylph, and starts striking at the corpses and using her flames to burn them, stating, "Why is the capital covered in corpses?" As something comes from the roof with Asta stating, "Jump!" As Salem jumps and he takes Cavalier, turning it into the dual saw blades, cutting what seems to be a demon beast that jumped from the roof. Yeah, it's not just corpses. Looking at the remains of the creature, Salem states he's involved in this too. Oh, that's not good. I mean, the demon beast is one thing, but what's with the corpses? Figure that out later. Let's split up. There's probably going to be more of these things. As Asta slams one of the saw blades down and revs it up, pulling him along as he uses the other one to swipe at the corpses, tearing them to shreds. As we see... Sorry. As we see Rades approaching a small girl named Marie. As Asta sees this, he hears him saying that he hates the Clover Kingdom and how he'll destroy everything and everyone in it, including you. Asta hurrying up, he jumps up and kicks Rades in the head, knocking him back, stating, "Step away," pointing one of the saw blades at him. But Rades getting up, stating, "Who are you?" As he sees his weapon, stating, "Then what the hell is that?" Asta putting away Cavalier, since that's probably not the best thing to use when fighting to protect a small child, just to be on the safe side. As he pulls out the Demon Dweller sword and the Rebellion, stating, "So, I'm guessing you're the one in charge of the corpses, right?" As Rady laughs, stating, "That's right, and that's not my only puppet." As he sends like an army, as he saw the one closest to him dropped, just gone, Asta begins hacking and slashing for Rades to be shocked that none of them are getting back up after being hit by those swords. As this happens, Rades calls forth Jimmy. As the new corpse looks like it's been beefed up. With this, Rades has Jimmy fire off some magic at him, with Asta slashing it more and more. This time he is able to deal with it better than in canon due to the fact that he can see the attacks more clearly than in canon due to what he is and all that. As Rades was getting annoyed, he told Jimmy to go for the big one. Powering up a bigger strike, Asta switches out to Lucifer, pulling out spikes, firing one into the giant magic sphere and the rest into Jimmy as he snaps his fingers, exploding them, destroying Jimmy. As he said, "Right, puppet? No. Okay, how about we try this, Alfred?" As a limbless corpse emerges, covered in lightning, striking at Asta. Asta takes one of the spikes and slashes at the lightning best as he could from his practice from luck, fending off against it and thinking that this is a bit more difficult since lightning's faster than those orbs and much more problematic. As he thinks this, after throwing one of the spikes, causing Alfred to dodge this time now that Rades saw that trick before, Asta pulls out Ivory and then fires, giving Alfred a headshot. Rades getting even more infuriated. "Fine, how about this?" Pulling out his final wraith that creates a barrier as it rapidly fires ammunition even faster. As Asta tries to defend using the Demon Slayer sword as well as the guitar being the things with the widest areas that he can use to smack the magic in order to send it back, destroy it, or whatever. This is when Noel states, "Alright, this might help," as a sea dragon's lair covers Marie, as Asta smirks, stating, "Thanks." Jumping up into the air, he strikes his guitar Nevin and sends out the bats that take out the attacks getting closer and closer to Rades as it destroys the barrier, and his wraith is swarmed by it. As is he, as he tries to get these things, get them off of him, yelling, "Ah, what is this?" As they disappear with Rades' last wraith, now no longer a usable puppet without mana, Rades gets grabbed by what seems to be lion paws, with Flagoleon stepping forward stating, "I am going to assume he's the one in charge of these corpses and creatures." Asta shrugs stating, "I'm thinking the corpses only," as they see some kind of creature that was holding a large pair of scissors drop from the sky, with Salem coming down stating, yeah, pretty sure he's only in charge of the corpses." As Salem pants after taking down a number of these things, and not sure how many is left. As Rady gives the same interrogation as before, seeing Rady's grimoire, him panicking, telling them not to look at it, and to not look down on him. This is when Flagoleon gets snatched up by spatial magic, surprising them. Unable to grab him, Asta gets a little mad, as then he senses something. Taking his guitar, popping out the side blade on the side, going over to a pile of corpses, striking it as one of the corpses jumps out, going through what looks like a spatial portal, coming out onto the roof, revealing himself. With Leopold stating, "You're the one who took my brother. Where is he?" As he smirks, stating, "Don't worry. Our leader's having a chat with him." As Flagoleon has the same problem as in camp. With the Eye of the Midnight Sun members surrounding them, Sally gets interested in Asta and Salem, finding them very interesting. That girl's not even using her grimoire, but he's using such powerful flames. And that one, true anti-magic and such interesting weaponry. I want to bring him back for dissection. As they're fending off as best as they can, like Goleon drops from a spatial portal, missing an arm. Leopold is freaking out. This is when Rades is free and gets to his, let's say, partners in crime, as raids are starting to come, as well as numerous demon beasts. With Sally stating, "Oh wow, he really came through with us with these creatures. I got to dissect some of them, and they are pretty interesting." "Oh, don't worry, Asta, Salem was it? We'll have fun on my operating table soon enough." With Mimosa creating a sea dragon's lair, holding down on on Begoleon's wound, while Leopold is just freaking out of his, just not here at the moment. Asta and Salem have a bit of a back and forth, as one of the mages seems to be using their magic to absorb Noel's sea dragon's lair. Salem starting it off stating, "Okay, surrounded by evil mages, moving corpses, and demon beasts. Yes. Megoleon is missing an arm. Leopold is out of it from trauma and sheer shock of the situation. Yep. And Noel's powerful defensive magic can be absorbed by one of the mages. Yes. Do we have a plan? No, we do not. With Libe and the Grimoire focusing, saying, "Come on, break. Come on." As one of the devil arms that has chains on it, the chains begin to snap as he smirks, stating, "Yes!" Breaking as the grimoire for Asta flips, turning to one of the pages that has the chain drawings on them as they just disappear, coming out what looks to be a briefcase. Asta smirking, stating, "We have a plan." Grabbing it, Leopold snaps out of it, stating, what is that?" As Sally's interested in what that box is, Asta smirks, stating, "This is Pandora. Perhaps you like a little pandemonium." As it flips the box behind him, and it changes, becoming a spherical device around him, showing multiple ports on the side, as well as what looks like a seat and some handles with buttons on them. He presses them, sending off a flurry of ammunition, taking out numerous demon beasts, as well as causing the Eye of the Midnight Sun to take cover from this, as it switched over to its three-bladed flying form. Asta tosses it, taking out more demon beasts and wraiths, and lastly, grabbing it as it shifts into another form. It looks like a triple-barreled bazooka, firing off multiple rounds, taking out the rest of the wraiths and demon beasts, stating, "Oh, that was good timing." With the base stating to him, "You're welcome." As they just get angry, Rady stating, "Oh, they're gonna pay from that. I'm gonna use you as my puppets." With Sally stating, "Not until I get to dissect them first and get a good look at whatever that is. I want it." As the Eye of the Midnight Sun get prepared for round two, this is when the other magic knights that got teleported at the same time that Flagoleon got teleported were able to come back using compound magic and drop down. Sally tried to go and take Asta using her sticky gel magic, only to be blasted away by Ebony and Ivory, with her stating, "Those are interesting too. I want him." As Rades is getting even more mad, with their spatial mate stating, "That's enough. We got what we needed, now we should leave." As they disappear, they introduce themselves as the Eye of the Midnight Sun, as they were able to escape. Asta sighing, stating, this is gonna be a big mess to clean up." After some time, Julius reemerges after the whole mess, remarking that he is back and with a prisoner. Osman, Noel, and Salem, recognizing that it's one of the mages from that attacked them. As after Leopold comes out from checking on his brother, who is in stable condition, luckily, he makes the mark on his forehead, vowing to be stronger. With this, Julius begins to describe that the Eye of the Midnight Sun seems to have quite the capable leader. He was able to rescue the three of the four of his comrades that I was able to capture. And he also got away with some strange tablet object. Not sure what they're after, but I would have to assume it has something to do with the stone Flagoleon used as a pendant. Leopold remembering it, and remembering that it was gone. Only an asks, why would they need it? Julius remarks that, from what I understand, it has something to do with magic stones. That being said, we'll need all of you to work together in order to help prevent such a catastrophe like this from happening again. And I trust you? All the Magic Knights saluting, giving them a resounding yes. With that, everyone was able to leave, with Asta seeing Charmy is there stating, "How did you get here?" Showing off that she turned herself into what acquainted as a dust bunny hiding in his hood. Asta being like, You are more stealthy than you look. With Charmy chuckling saying, I know. As they went home, told Yami and everyone what happened, Asta feeling kind of bad that he couldn't do anything to help Flagoleon, with Yami re-encouraging him, stating, It's fine, kid. You too stubborn to die. And missing an arm isn't gonna slow him down even a little, trust me. Though I wouldn't mind having a crack at the bastard who did that to him. The sounds of it, we might have a chance. With Luck getting excited and Magnus stating, Oh yeah, let's show them what the balls can do. Asta smirking, with Salem laughing, and Noelle stating, Of course you all would be like this. As Julius looks out as he sighs, remarking, What happened to you, Dante? I already know that you aren't dead. I see glimpses of you, but fuzzy. As he's just worried. Dante was someone that even he would have trouble against, especially long term. Even his magic to age an opponent, even part of their body, didn't really work on Dante. That though he'd be worried about what kind of enemy would be able to capture him. And with that, we end this part here. I do hope you have enjoyed. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys later.